Hello and welcome back. Today we're working on a Macbook Pro A2338. This is a 13-inch 2020 M1 with 2 Thunderbolts MacBook. And what this does is when you connect the power supply either on the top USB-C port, as you can see here, or on the bottom, the MacBook does not negotiate 20 volts and it draws nothing. So let's not hesitate any further and start disassembling this so we can check what's going on. Hope that this will be something like a cap, because after the last MacBook we purchased off of eBay, that was not fixable, unfortunately. We need to make up for it. As always, 6 screws on the bottom. These are pendulum ones. Suction cup. Lift. And pull. First thing we always do is to disconnect the battery. And then we disconnect and we remove the battery screw so that our logic port has no power running through it. Now let's get the motherboard out of the chassis so we can take measurements and see and look at it under the microscope to see if there is something obviously wrong with it, like a blown cap or some liquid damage, and address the matter accordingly. Some shields that need to be removed, such as these ones on the LCD cable here. Good. And on the power button, here, there's a screw here that needs to be removed. You have 2 choices for that. You can either find a corresponding tip, like this one, or you can just find your smallest Torx tip and just press gently and it will come right out. Your choice. I'll leave it up to you. Now let's disconnect everything from the motherboard. As you can see, these ribbons here have not been pulled, which means that nobody has been here, which significantly increases our chances of fixing this motherboard and make our customer happy. You can tell when somebody has disconnected these because they tend to stay in an upward direction. Oh, there's a screw here as well, holding down the Wi-Fi antenna cables. Maybe we will not remove this entirely. I mean the sticker here, or maybe we will. We'll see. Come on, come here. Wi-Fi antenna cables out, and the touch bar and the Type-C connector as well. Good. Now we are most likely going to be able to remove this. After we remove one more flex cable here and the LCD cable, of course. If we check this for any signs of visible damage or something, I don't think there is something that obvious. Neither on this side. We'll see. Let us remove the Type-C ports here as well, so we can test it. Good. So outside of the chassis with nothing connected to it, is it gonna still not negotiate 20 volts? Yep. Still the same on the other port. Still the same. Which leads us to believe that there is some short on the main power rail, otherwise known as the PP bus G3 hot. And the way we can measure that is either by placing our multimeter into resistance mode and placing our black probe to ground and then the red probe. Yes, there is a direct short to ground, and the red probe where we want to measure. Or otherwise, you can do it in diode mode, change your probes, and then measure like that. Still a direct short to ground. So let's do the freezing trick and see if indeed what's getting hot is this cap. And if we take our power supply like we did before and put our black probe to ground and the red probe before it melts, and we touch the fuse here, as you can see, the ice melts around this cap here. So the easy way to check if that is indeed our culprit is to turn on our soldering iron, get just a little bit of flux here. This is an easy way to tell if it's the cap's fault. You can get some solder and gently lift the cap. Like this. See? And now if we measure, the short should be gone. Let's measure at the same place that we measured before. So red probe to ground, or no, we're in diode mode. Red probe to ground, and we have no short. Or in resistance mode, black probe to ground, and if it's high enough, then we should be good enough. So there's no more short. And we should now be able to safely remove this cap. Let's do it this way. If it's not moving, apply some more solder so it makes it easier for the one underneath to melt. Come on. Okay. Make sure to clean this. I should increase the temperature on my soldering iron because the ground pad here is kind of tricky to desolder. And if we want to do it more easily, we can apply some low melt solder here on one tab, or on the right pad. And then we need a donor board. This should be good enough. This is the exact same donor board. And here's that cap. Oh, my safety is compromised. So if we measure this cap, it's short. Or maybe there's a short on something else. Let's remove the cap and check it, because the short may be on some other component on this logic board, and we will not be able to measure the cap correctly if we do not remove it. Right? This is your best friend. Always, always, always use this. So we apply some solder, and we gently give it a nudge from the bottom, so it is easier for us to remove it. And now that it's not connected to the logic board, we can measure, and as we can see, the cap is fine, but there's a short on this logic board, which we do not care about. We just need the cap. And let us remove it entirely. Good. And we need to place it like this. Solder one side. Like this. And then the other side. Like this. If you want to be a perfectionist, apply some pressure. Do the same on the other side. Good. Now get some flux off, or isopropyl alcohol, whatever you feel more comfortable using. Either get a toothbrush or some cleaning cloth, or a Q-tip, whatever you feel more comfortable with. I hate these, but you know, I don't think that they serve a purpose, but still, if Apple puts them there, who knows? Again, take your best friend with you. Measure again to check. This is on resistance mode, so black probe to ground, and we measure here, and there's no short. Or in diode mode, red probe to ground, and we have no short. Now, let's bring Paul Daniels's Ampmeter here and see if this is going to negotiate 20 volts. There's some amp. Oh, there we go. We've negotiated 20 volts and it's drawing some current. We need to put it in the chassis to see if it's gonna chime. Let me remove this because it's not serving anything at the moment. Let me get another glove. Now, Type-C ports. 2 screws. logic board back in. Be careful so that you do not forget any of the cables underneath. We need all of them. And just start reconnecting things. When you see me doing this, I'm not applying any force whatsoever. I'm just gently finding the place it should go. And if you just nudge it around, it will sit in its place, so don't worry. Same goes for the Wi-Fi antenna cables. If you line it just on top of the hole underneath, and you just apply a gentle pressure, it will sit right where it's supposed to be sitting. Okay. Disconnect the speaker here and the CPU fan after we have lifted our lock. Just push it in, lock it, and then we have the other speaker, keyboard, and now let's put the battery screw back in, connect the LCD cable and the battery cable. Bring our Ampmeter back here. Oh, we have chime, we have an Apple logo, and the bar is loading, which means it's gonna boot up. And there you go. There you have it. This tiny little fella prevented this beautiful little laptop from booting up. I hope you learned something, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye-bye.